So, here we go for Game 2 of this Best Out of 3 series, taken from DreamHack Summer 2011, another clash between these two awesome players. We're gonna have spawning here on this top right position, the Blue Zerg, EGIdrA, Greg Fields, member of Team Evil Geniuses, one of the finest North American Zergs currently playing this game. He's gonna be clashing once more against this red Protoss here, spawning on the bottom left position of Zelnaga Caverns. The homeboy from Sweden, playing at home here at DreamHack. It's MYMSaSe, a member of Team MYM, Team Meteor Makers, and a solid Protoss player. He comes from Warcraft 3, as everyone knows. I already made a short presentation of him on Game 1. I would like to add to that presentation the fact that MYMSaSe won, I think a couple of months ago, a tournament that had a lot of Swedish players participating in it, called Road to Korea. And on that tournament, the first prize that MYMSaSe won was a trip to South Korea with all expenses paid and a stay for a month on the GOM TV house, meaning that at the moment he has a ticket to Korea to try his luck on Code A whenever he feels like it. Obviously it's a big step. I'm not sure when MYMSaSe is gonna take that decision and move to live there at least for a month and see how well he does against the Korean pros, but still it's pretty cool. Let's see if he goes there. Now we have like Thorzane, Nanua and all the FXO team there. Also Phoenix, Fnatic Phoenix is going there if I'm not mistaken. So having MYMSaSe there would be pretty cool as well, I would say. But for now, let's follow this matchup. Let me just throw a couple of spoilers here. EGIdrA is losing 1-0, meaning that he needs to win this game here and take this to an ace match, or else it's going to be a 2-0 defeat, and I think it's kind of heavy for EGIdrA. But it depends all on his production on this game, obviously, and MYMSaSe knows what he's doing. He's a solid player, so let's see if EGIdrA has what it takes. He can step up his game to crush MYMSaSe on this specific matchup. For now, we're taking a look at the builds. As you can see, EGIdrA is going for spawning pool first with an extractor, so he's going to have Zergling speed pretty soon, and also going to have Zerglings to help defend against any kind of harass or aggression coming from MYMSaSe side. For now, for example, it would be nice for him to have this probe out of the way so he can land his hatchery. He's already almost on 400 minerals and still not able to land it. He decided to go for the queen while he fights this probe out of this area. He does need a little room so that drone can land the hatchery down. Might be now. Oh, here he goes. No, and he doesn't have enough minerals. Never mind. I didn't even look at the minerals. I was just looking at it now. Getting close to 300, so I guess the time is now. With MYMSaSe just pulling south, and there it is. EGIdrA grabbing the hatchery on his natural expo. Well played. While we do witness the first batch of Zerglings coming out of EGIdRA's hatchery and starting to pursue that probe down south. Keep in mind that EGIdrA already on that previous game had a lot of surprises with all of that proxy pylon shenanigans and hidden probes, so he's doing a very nice split here. Try to take a look around, make sure he's not going to get surprised again by any probe, hidden probe or proxy pylon, and there it is. EGIdrA entering with his drone into the base from MYMSaSe. Now he's going to be able to control all of the build, and as long as this drone is alive and kicking inside the main base, I'm pretty sure that MYMSaSe will try to avoid building anything in here. Actually, he attempted to get the second gateway down south here. I don't think that EGIdrA already noticed that he's there. No, he didn't, but he's coming down south. There's a single sentry try to intercept him before he spots it, but I think that EGIdrA is going to spot that. There it is, and now the drone is going to get killed, but he took all the information he could at the moment from MYMSaSe's main base, with MYMSaSe playing out of 2 gateways, and notice the amount of minerals is stacking up, meaning that he might be going for an expo anytime soon. Meanwhile, here on EGIdRA side, we have EGIdRA going for a roach warren, so plenty of roaches incoming soon. And I'm not sure if you guys remember this or not, but EGIdRA already made comments in the past stating that here on Zelnaga Caverns he loves to make roachling all-ins and also big pressure, big pushes with a lot of roaches and lings, meaning that he might be planning that way. Let's see when that roach warren finishes, if he decides to start producing a lot of roaches and Zerglings, or if he's going to keep investing on his economy. I guess we're going to see that soon enough. For now, here on MYMSaSe's side, the Nexus is rolling on his natural expo, not even half done, and he's just slowly stretching his wall with 2 more gateways, so he's going to have 4 gateway play ensuing pretty soon, and at the same time making a sturdy wall that will force the forces from EGIdRA to go all the way around if they want to access his main base by ground. This wall off here on the back needs a bit more there. Maybe another building would be a good option. While on EGIdrA side, we do have roaches coming out. They're already popping. Also a lot of Zerglings. So seems like that EGIdrA might be planning ahead to make a push here and see if SASE has what it takes to defend. On the back is finishing the access here as well. As you can see, a forge landed there. This is going to stop any Zerglings for coming out on this way. But at the same time, we have EGIdrA just splitting his Zerglings. Look at this, very well positioned, making sure he's going to be able to spot any units coming in or out of that area that gives access to the Natural Expo from SASE. But SASE making an hallucinated Phoenix, and now he's going to spot all the movements from the units of EGIdrA. As you can see all of those Zerglings massing up. The roaches are passing on the left, and here comes the assault. Roaches on the left, Zerglings on the right, and now they're going to try. The Zerglings are trying to flank. No, it's locked, and now the roaches spewing acid, focusing fire on that gateway, changing the focus fire now to that pylon. They're going to finish the pylon, and now there's a gap for the Zerglings to try to get in, and there it is, the Zerglings squeezing in all of them. Will they be able to get us around on this sentry force? No, no chance. The Stalker Force finishing them down, helping out the sentries, and now we have a bunch of roaches on the outside trying to enter, but the force field plays containing the movements, and they were able to power down these two gateways, so less reinforcements for SASE, with SASE forced to place other pylons here on the back and powering up these two gateways once more, with the photon cannon helping out, and nice force field play, trapping all the roaches and defending brilliantly this aggression by EGIdrA. Well defended by SASE, well played. Notice that he's now taking care of his +1 on the weapons, and this seems like that EGIdrA is just transitioning into more macro play, grabbing a macro hatch on his main base, at the same time starting to clear the rocks here on this third base, the rich mineral field. Now, obviously SASE will have different options to make here. He can decide to go for more economy, or he can try to make a push now. He's sending another hallucinated Phoenix, meaning that he's going to be able to make notice of what's happening on EGIdrA side. Here he comes, he's going to fly right into that third base, spawning the hatchery and the forces here, and now it's time for SASE to make a decision. Should he push and go up and try to just break EGIdrA in, because he just committed a lot to his economy and probably won't have much of an army, or should SASE just go for an economy play and counter this play by EGIdrA by grabbing a base of its own? No, seems like it's going to be the first option, with SASE advancing, forcing EGIdrA to cancel. Well played here. Now with all the forces from SASE coming up north, try to contain the advancement. They're going to shoot down that creep tumor, so stopping the creep advance, the creep highway there by EGIdrA, and they're just massing up a nice force here on the place where EGIdrA had his third base, his rich mineral field. But EGIdrA will have none of it. Look at all those Zerglings trying to get a nice surround on the forces. They showed up from the south, with the roaches trying to spew acid onto the forces from SASE, but that force field play was forcing the roaches to go all the way around south to actually reach them and shoot down, and SASE is just slowly going south while the roaches pursue them and spew acid onto that sentry that got left behind. I think he's going to lose that sentry, but that's basically it. And now SASE is pulling back home, trying to reinforce. There's more units coming here, and seems like he might be trying to face these roaches once more. Incoming the roaches, trying to shoot down the forces from SASE, but keep in mind that SASE was taking care of his +1, so these units are all +1 on the attack, while the roaches from EGIdrA are 0-0, no upgrade. So this is going to show on the battlefield, as you might imagine. Meanwhile, on the back of the base, already Twilight Council and Robotics facility. So interesting move here by SASE. He's investing on his upgrades and his tech, and with that Twilight there on the back of his Natural Expo, he might decide to go for some Stalker upgrades. Blink would be awesome, as you might imagine. And we do see that EGIdrA keeps producing more and more Zerglings, more and more roaches, and throwing them at SASE's forces. Try to contain the advance and grab his third, which he's attempting again, but this time the hatchery is almost finished. EGIdrA will be able to maintain this base and start benefiting from the mineral income. As you can see at the moment, the worker count and income is quite similar. Both of players playing on two bases, and now incoming EGIdrA with a beautiful surround with a lot of Zerglings coming from the back, trying to surround all of that Stalker force and chewing down most of those Stalkers. But now a lot of warpins being done done by SASe. Plenty of Zealots, and Zealots are just awesome against Zerglings. They're going to be able to slice and dice the Zergling force so quickly, and the remaining forces from EGIdrA, the Roach force that is here in front of the rich mineral field, are trying to contain the advancement from SASe, but it starts to look really difficult, especially with that proxy pylon here on the back, warping in more and more units. EGIdrA is having trouble. He's pumping out more Roaches, pumping out more Zerglings, and getting little reconstitution. Plenty of forces here, all of them with +1 against 0/0 Roaches. Blink Stalker almost finished, +2 almost finished, so seems like that SASe has the edge on this battle. SASe just slowly pulling back, trying to go back and forth and fight his way against EGIdRA's forces, and apparently EGIdRA's forces are slowly dwindling down. As you can see there on the supply count, we do have EGIdRA ahead, 109 against 83, and on the army count, 21 Roaches against 8 Zerglings, against 16 Stalkers, but now the Stalkers have Blink, and look at them just blinking back and trying to survive the offensive here by EGIdRA. Well Blink, nice micro by SASe, containing the aggression, defending very well, and this just brilliant play by SASe, dwindling down the forces, grinding down and chipping away at the army from EGIdRA, to the point where EGIdRA just had to GG out of this match, and with this result, SASe wins 2-0 over EGIdRA. Impressive result in my modest opinion. Congrats to SASe, obviously. This final play, with that Blink just kicking in the right moment, was awesome, and then SASe was just blinking back with his upgrades on his units. There was no chance for the Roaches, the 0/0 Roaches. Keep also in mind that the +2 was almost finished, so even if EGIdRA resisted a bit longer, I'm pretty sure he would start getting even bigger hits on his units. Let me just take a look here at the bases. Yeah, well, SASe didn't even build that much inside his base. Here we did have that macro hatch, and the lair tech was on his natural expo, but I guess that EGIdRA didn't took enough time, or didn't play long enough to benefit from any of the upgrades there. The Glial was almost finished, but that's it. And I guess that EGIdRA just lost the series 2-0. And congrats to SASe. Let's go for the next series from DreamHack. See you all later, have fun.